There we go. Well, so looking into it, a taste of coconut oil. Still have some butter in the refrigerator. So I guess tomorrow will be the day where I might actually be stupid. Yeah, if I'm going to still have eating some sugar tomorrow in regards to the butter and the yogurt. And then again, it's not that much, but compared to many other things, but it's still sugar, and yeah, that's bad. And maybe I should actually wait a day more. So if we can actually eat the things that is sugar in it tomorrow, and then maybe skip a day. Now, of course, the new month is closing as far as it goes, so I'm just thinking of how I'm going to do this best. As you can see, the waxing crescent now, so the moon is now the new moon. And then the question is, when is it actually observed in Israel and all that? Is that 29 days in the month or 30 days in the month and so forward? Now, it never goes over 30 days in the month and all that. There's a lot of things I still need to figure out and all that. But anyway, and I might make mistakes, just trying the best that I can do. But as you can see, the moon is, there's so many things to study and to look into and all that, and it's not always what do you call it? It's yeah, there's so much information, which is pretty. The thing is, if you had grown up with these things, it wouldn't actually be a problem because it would have been normal, right? It would be, if we had kept the calendar according to the Bible. We wouldn't have, and again, it makes it a lot easier to read the Bible, and some pieces of the Bible, when you begin to understand more of the backgrounds and so forward, some things just comes forward. It's like a flower that springs out, more and more. And it's a great smell. But we have different kinds, it's like, it's so many, things, that we miss because we don't, I don't know, we're following this Roman timeline and calendar and all that, which is not biblical at all. It's, the new year in the winter is not the new year according to the Bible. It's in spring. And that's the thing. You don't really need to know when people are keeping New Year's here and there and all that. As I understand it, the Mohammedans have it, it goes around. It never calibrates. The biblical calendar calibrates in regards to the spring. The Jews believe it's in the 7th month that the new year is, but that's the whole nother, They have 4 New Years, and I have documentation from the Jerusalem museum, it's gigantic museum. Anyway, well, that was information on these 4 New Years and all that, but only one is biblical, and confirmation from the Jerusalem museum as well. Just nice to have some witnesses as well, but of course the Bible, But yeah, as long as it agrees with the Bible, thumbs up, right? The Jews are keeping the New Year in the 7th month, which is wrong. Just go and read the Bible, It's not at the day of trumpet, the New Year's, according to the Bible, Passover is in the 1st month. Well, the day of trumpet is like, half a year after. So it can't be the new year. And it is not the new year, not according to the Bible. I don't care about traditions and, whatever man-made, laws and all that. I don't care about that, okay? So, yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out things here in regards of the Diflucan. I'm like, when the itch is there and all that, I'm like, it would be so nice to just get on it, and just go for it. Um, but I probably should just, totally remove every kind of sugar before. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But that would, yeah. So the yogurt, drinking the very sour yogurt. I do have some. I don't know. Understand it. I put this buttermilk outside, and the idea of putting the buttermilk outside the refrigerator was that maybe it would become more sour. I would also like to test actually making yogurt with buttermilk. Putting some buttermilk in some milk. Sadly, I can only get pasteurized at the moment, but and see if it actually would ferment these things. Now, of course, I could still do it without actually, eating any. It's just, I don't know. That seems kind of, I don't know. It's a little hard when you're testing things, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work and all that. And then in regards to the nice stats, of course I'm on the nice stats and still, but I must say have been a little bad in keeping check on it today. Having had so many things going around and all that, but yeah. Um, but again, it should. I'm on the 12th day of nice stats, and so it should pretty much be, have done its work. So but anyway, I still have for continual taking of it, so I'll still have a good amount. And of course, I'm going to continue taking it while I'm taking the Diflucan, so that will be interesting. Yeah. In regards to the background noise, that's my CPU fan. Well, the outside CPU fan, because this fan inside the mobile doesn't really, has issues. So I put a fan outside, because if I'm going to open this laptop up again, I'm not sure it will survive. I've, every time I've, pretty much have opened it up, it always loses things and all that, and getting some glue and all that. That's a whole nother topic, of course. But the laptop is made, so the last thing you can actually get to is the CPU fan. Yeah, and I think they do these things on purpose. These stupidities. It's typical of the world. To waste your time. Why wouldn't you have? Why wouldn't you make it? The first thing that you should have access to was the CPU fan. But no, get to the CPU fan. Just they break, and well, the keyboard is broke as well. I bought a new keyboard and that broke as well because of the heat of the laptop. It's interesting that the rest of the laptop can have because of some heat when the rest of the things can. I don't know. Anyway, Diflucan. I'm really. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I really hope it will fix. The itching and maybe the dandruff and maybe kill off the floaters in the eyes. Oh, it would be wonderful if I could. It's going to be a great show if that works. If it doesn't work, it will be very sad. And I have my hopes that it will work. It will be killing off it. It's the best remedy that's out there, as far as I know, in regards of it's the first and primary drug or medicine, whatever you want to call it, that kills candida. That is its primary thing. It's killing candida. It's the first and foremost drug from the medical mafia to do that. And again, it was really a struggle to get my hands onto it. And it's interesting, all these mails that I posted to my doctors and whatever, these white coats. And I don't know, it's just I really needed to make some effort to actually, I've been having time for, looking at Doc Kaufman, which is a Roman papist, but he really knows his fungus, that's for sure. And I've been, going through nearly 130, so that's probably, 130 hours. I'm still going with, but I've come to the point where I can see I actually have listened to them before. Yeah. So I probably listened to, hours after hours of his shows, and it just helps you get a lot of information and trying to make it your own. It's still it's a hard topic still. And reading these articles, and of course on the mobile, having these different microbiology books and getting used to the words that they use. And you're pretty much alone, it seems, pretty much alone on this. um, but yeah, it's nice to see that actually my doctor that actually ended up, giving it to me. It's very nice, very nice. But it took weeks and weeks of effort, to get to the point that, he handed it over. That's incredible. Of course, he misdiagnosed me like anyone else, and yeah, it's interesting. Some of the things that I've been writing, I must say I might not have been so sweet. I've been somewhat, maybe a little harsh. Well, just putting the truth out there. Pretty much, but I'm not packed. I'm not packed it in there. I've and anyway, a lot of the, some of the arguments that I've been, using, because it makes pretty good sense. Doc Kaufman has some pretty good, one of the arguments I use, in regards of my doctor. I wrote to him that, well, we're two that can diagnose and one that can, write out a prescription. Referring to that I am there as well to diagnose. And again, he put forward that, if I didn't agree with his diagnose, that I should, find another. And I told him that, it's, as you can see, the rest of the, doctors out there are as incompetent as you. So, you're stuck with me pretty much. I guess that's not so sweet to say, but, it seems to be the thing. It's like, it's, when I tried to, I had the last, it was a, not my, what call you, official doctor, and after my, official doctors told me that, if I didn't accept his diagnosis, I would need to find another doctor. And then I tried to go to another guy. I've been through this system for many, many years, in the past, and I pretty much gave up on the system, pretty much. Because the only thing they pretty much wanted me to do was to send me to a shrink, or to a, what is it called, psychiatric thing and all that, and have me on, happy drugs, or whatever they call, psychotropic drugs and all that stupidity, or have me to, a shrink, you have to be insane, it was not this head that was the problem, people. It was the other head. It's like you got the wrong head. It's an insane show to see. It's besides all the it's just it's incredible to see how they yeah, it's just um yeah. And I told him, of course, I couldn't take his diagnosis seriously. Pretty much. Now, of course, it's in Danish, so it's. But I think it's actually was pretty. Well, I think I wrote it pretty good. But anyway, I got a lot of help in regards of helping me to express myself, in regards of Doug Kaufman, in regards of fungi, and beginning to understand. To get some help in regards of beginning to decipher. Now, of course, I've used books as well, and search out words and all that. But I must say, I got a lot of good things from Doug Kaufman. There's some gold nuggets in there, here and there. And of course, there's also a lot of Roman bullshit in regards of he's a Roman papist. And actually, I think that was one of the things that actually disturbed it, actually pulled me away in the past. I was looking at his. I think I was seeing some of his shows, and I got the idea of I can't remember what it's called. Nicerol, in regards of the dandruff and all that, and it worked. I was like, wow, it works. But then it stopped working in the second bottle and all that, and it was just incredible. I was like, it worked in the beginning in regards to the dandruff, and of course, Nicerol is something that kills fungi, and it worked. It worked in the beginning. Now apparently there's different strength of this shampoo. Apparently, I don't know. Maybe I just needed, maybe I need, a stronger, But apparently there's some things in regards to some you can buy and some you need prescription for. Apparently, I'm not sure how that works out in Denmark, but in regards of but it actually worked in the beginning. That was very interesting to see. So I think I got it from Doug Kaufman, but I think at that point I was what do you call it? Pushed away from his show because. There's things in his shows that are really, really. So, looking at his shows, I'm really discerning what is, and there's a huge amount of Roman doctrines coming forward, and hopefully he will turn away from the cookie Jesus and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of going directly to heaven, doctrine. Christ Mass, Easter, Halloween, and so forward. I can't remember them all and all that, but that's, of course, the world overall promotes these things, and something in regards of yoga as well. Yoga is Hinduism, so why would I ever do yoga? There was a thing in regards of sleeping as well. I have to send him something. I'll see if I can get his address. He likes something. I tried installing it, and it's actually costing a good amount of money. But that was not really my big issue of the program. The problem is, it's like, as far as I can see, it's a lot of pagan stuff, and it is a program that is actually made to help you sleep and all that. I understand it, but. It's as far as I can. Yeah, I got the pagan vibe from it, and that's so much, it's the paganism is everywhere in our society, and under many names and this and that and all that, and there's so much difference, different things and all that you can do research and all that, and but I've been in the occult before, and I've tried a lot of things. But that's not to say that I know everything in regards of these things, But you get a sense of, when they begin, for example, if someone begins to talk about chakras, for example, it's like that's bing, 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 or talk about different things of yeah, well, I tend to know it. I tend to pick up on it when it's like coming around. It's like, we have a problem, Houston. Anyway, yeah, so I'm somewhat sensitive to these things. Which would be nice to be even more sensitive to these things. But there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit out there. So these are things are like talking about yoga and all that. That's so good. Because it's paganism. It's paganism. It's yoga is Hinduism. So why would I ever do anyway. So I have something I need to see if I can get to. I need see if I can get his address. And see if at least get him anyway to see what if whatever so that's one of the ideas just to and he did talk about one of the programs where he actually talked about the program on his show. He did talk about I think I've seen 2 shows where he talks about this program, and I do one of the shows that he talked about, he did say, well, it's pagan, and he wished there would be a Christian version out there and all that. And well, I think that's a good alternative. And but anyway, that would be nice to get into his hands. So it's nice. But in any case. But the guy really knows his fungi, So it's like the fungi thing and all that is just up here, and all the Roman Catholic doctrines I just put in the trash, and and all the paganistic things, which So yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It's just But really, if someone wants to know about fungi and all that, he's really, and the thing is, he's open. He's speaking to people. He's trying to help them as well. He's not just closing the door to people. He's answering questions. Two times a week, he just answers questions on these programs, and he's very good at it. I think it's just. And again, sometimes some gold nuggets comes forward, and he has book after book in regards of fungi. It's just I don't know how big his library is on fungi, but he has a lot of books. Anyway, so I got some good tools from him. Yeah. And because the doctors will just tell you that it's just in your head and you're making things up or on this and that, and then you actually have a show like Know the Cause, where this problem is actually being taken seriously. That you're not just a nutcase in your head, that you actually have a serious condition, in regards of fungi, and you see other people having these issues, and they're trying to sort it out. They have the same problems with their doctors, not understanding and this and that don't want to give them any antifungus. It's just called I can't even remember it in English, but you have of course you have fungicidal, but that's not the word I'm looking for. But anyway, it's antifungal. It's against fungus. So if we want to keep it really, really low on the 4th grade level, it's against fungus, okay? So, against fungus. So people have a lot of problems, getting their doctors to give it to them and all that. And it did take a huge, it's just wonderful that it's really, 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 really wonderful that that he ended up actually giving it to me, and this is the box, one of the boxes. I have 2, so it's not a really well, it's just kind of, boring box, right? But yeah, it's 100 milligrams Diflucan. It's like 28 of them. I got the exact thing I wanted. I did the research in regards of which kind I wanted, which I could get and all that. And the same with the nice stats. And I don't know if he's used to that. That people actually, hey, that's the thing I need, but anyway, so yeah, that's pretty good. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be very, 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 very interesting to see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, and yet I'm still a little, I know that if it works, if the candida is not resistant, because there's a 7% chance, as I understand it from the information I've read and all that on Diflucan. So there's a 7% chance, so that would be 93% chance that actually kills all the fungi, and that is not resistant to it. And that will be, if that works, it will be, I think I will probably get into a good amount of die-off, and that will be interesting. Probably will not feel that good. If this works and it begins to kill millions and millions of fungi, I will have a period of feeling very, very bad, probably. And that's going to be interesting. Of course, then I know it works, so that's nice. That's another thing that is interesting with these things, right? In regards to the symptoms, and they say, oh, well, there's these symptoms and all that by using it. Well, I just have to ask, wouldn't you think that if you actually take, let's see where it actually is. Oh, here we go. Wouldn't you expect to actually get symptoms if you kill candida or you kill fungi? Of course you would. So I do want a lot of these symptoms that you actually can get by taking it. Actually, just seems like it would make sense that it would be because you're killing the fungi. So let's see here. Alright, so see here. Headache, for example. So, would you expect, usually, if you are, having, headaches are pretty much normal in regards of having issues, right? If you're fasting or whatever, if you're cleaning house in regards to the body, headaches are pretty, that's something that, is not unusual in regards of that's something in regards of stomach pains, diarrhea, things in regards of not feeling so good in regards of puking and all that, and but anyway, and you can get some, what do you call it, things on your skin. But again, if you're killing a lot of fungi, wouldn't you expect that actually to happen? I don't know, so anyway, I don't know. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try it out and be the, whatever. I just don't, after the explosion of this beast, last time, because I did stupid. I ate bread. I should have known better, but again, you told, it's just all in your head and all that, right? And I fell in and went to the bakery, and 2 of the times I actually bought something that was sugary as well. So not only did I eat bread, which is pretty much sugar in itself, I also ate sugar, on the side. I was just totally feeding this fungi, and it just exploded. And that was one of the things that made me even more pinpoint in regards of this has to be fungi. This has to be fungi in regards to I was feeding it sugar and it exploded. It's just, anyway. So it gave me some more links for, of course I already, it's many years ago that I actually began to have this idea that it might be fungi. Many years actually. I did a fungi thing. That was before I became a vegetarian, I think. And it just didn't work, but of course that was I used some natural things and all that. It just didn't work, but of course my diet was, I think it was pretty much the same. So that was a bad diet as well. And again, it's been growing for so long and it's so rooted. So again, it will be interesting to see if the Diflucan can actually do it. I hope so. As always hope, I guess. Yeah, so it will be very interesting. But again, I guess in regards to these different things they say, I don't know. Some in regards of allergic reactions and all that, I shouldn't have any problem with that. I haven't really had much of allergic things in regards of. So anyway, here we have in regards of some of the infections, and it's all fungi. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Infections that is owned to in regards of candida in the blood, for example, or in the organs, the heart, the lungs, or the urine, that's in regards of treatment and so forward. And you have a huge amount of treatments for different kinds of fungus infections. Also in regards of the vagina, because it's used as the one pill vagina pill and all that. So actually also talked about in regards to the penis and all that, itching or balanitis and so forward. I do have other information, you can read different things on different pages and all that, and they do have some variations of the information here and there and so forward, but a lot of the same. But as as you go here, oh, that's in regards if you use any other medicine or whatever, but anyway, I don't use anything of that kind, so the only thing I use is nystatin at the moment, so yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Very interesting. I'll see if I start, if maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's 2 days, I really want to get going on it, that's for sure, but yeah. Something in regards to that. Yeah, well. Yeah, well, that's different information. It's in Danish and Swedish. Apparently, it's not in English. That's actually interesting. I guess they don't sell it in other places. But yeah, going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting. Yeah. And hopefully it will work. Hopefully. Fluconazole. Yeah. There's only one way to figure it out, and that's to try it out. So that's what I'm going to do. It would be so nice if it would fix the itch. And it's only, the thing is, again, sugar still seems to be the culprit in some sense. The meat is still pretty good at controlling the things down there, That's still, and again, but the other thing in the skin is doesn't seem to be as, it seems harder to control, in that direction in regards of, but does seem to help, but, keeping away from sugar, it's just so hard. This monster has its own life, So, But I still do not know if the Diflucan can actually kill the spores. And because if it doesn't kill the spores, which is the babies of the fungi, then it could very, very quickly come again if you begin to, do stupid again in regards to food. So, yeah. I don't know. I just, by the way, been eating pigeons, I think it's called. Or doves. Pigeons or doves, are pretty tasty. Well, that's at least these are from the forest and all that, and you can find hails in them and all that. But the meat is like so much more. It has this color, and it's just much more tasty than the standard chickens that you buy and all that. It's just, and I remember the same thing in regards of we had hens, at my parents and all that, and I remember that the hens that we butchered, the meat was totally different. It was just awesome compared to the things that you buy. And I'm like, what's how can that be? How can you go to this light meat to this wonderful I don't know. But anyway, I guess they just destroy everything they touch. I don't know. Anything else? No, I guess I'm getting tired. And but there are 4 things that it could help in regards to when I begin to take it, and I'm going to really, really look forward to it. The skin issues in regards to this burning and warm and pain I have in my skin, that would be one thing, and itching and crawling in my legs and all that, and just it's driving. It's really bad. Well, it's not. It's just, yeah, it's just, you have all these things and it just keeps on and one after another thing and all that. And it's just, and you think, hey, it can't get any worse. It can. It seems like there's always a surprise. So the dandruff would be interesting to see if that fixes, the eye floaters, the skin things, and of course the groin. Down south and all that. That'll be 4 things. It would be interesting to actually see if I began to get my, if energy went up, that would be interesting to see. That my memory, my, what is it called, cognitive, just terrible. It was a lot of effort to that, writing to this stuff, yeah, and you're just pretty much alone, That's the same thing as Doc Kaufman says. Well, we're pretty much alone. Yeah, we're pretty much in the nut box, something like that. Yeah, as you might have used a little different word, but you're going to be seen as a yeah, it's incredible. People will don't take you seriously. It's just an unseen thing. About keep us updated with strict diet, zero diet, if anything that I'm going for. He allows a lot of things that are sugary thing, and I found out, doing the meat diet, you don't really need that much sugar, or at least I don't need that much sugar to actually get a reaction. If I'm only doing red meat, that seems to actually be the best. It's incredible. In the beginning, when I did the red meat and all that, just small things like butter, or egg. I don't know. And I remember doing the meat diet and then trying some of these things and having the reaction, going on in the south part again. I was like, and going out, is there sugar in this? I was like, yeah, I have no idea why I went on the bread thing. I've no idea how I could be so stupid, you know. To I guess I just went wild, you know. I just went wild, I guess. I just yeah, I did stupid. I did really really stupid. You know, that was really really stupid. But yeah, again, anyway. Um, it's hard. Huh. I still have some gloves, as or gloves or whatever. They said to be antibacterial or antifungus as well. That's the thing I just ate. Said to be, you know, and just trying to get whatever you can that is antifungus, right? But again, it's again the best thing that I've pretty much have tried in regards to food is red meat. So yeah, so red meat. That's just what it seems to be the best thing working. And I wish I knew that 19 years ago because I might go back in time and find out. But anyway, so in regards to the binder, apparently that's psyllium husk. Apparently, I don't know about that. I don't know. The better, I think, as far as so. It seems like a lot of people are afraid of red meat, which is, you know, interesting in some sense. You know, these documentaries and all that. Of course, we would like the animals to have a good life, but to stop eating cows and sheep is just outrageous. Which I did for many, 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 many years, which was the stupidest choice to go in that direction. Because red meat was actually, you know, the thing that actually have helped me, you know, most. Red meat and red meat and red meat, pretty much. Of course, I've gotten some experience by all these, you know, trials of this and that and all that, but, you know, I'd rather actually have just have known that red meat was working, you know, and then I could have worked on because I had more energy, you know, years back, and you know, more. I had more, you know, go in me in some sense. So if I had figured out that the meat was actually pretty good for and health, I would have been able to use those years for investigating other things and you know trying to figure. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah. It's itching, you know, itching again, itching there, and itching. It's just totally itching after this explosion, you know, and the nose as well, and the, you know, the eye flips as well. It's like, you know, sometimes you can feel something crawling, like crawling in your, you know, it's like, you just stop it, you know. It's like, give me a break. So yeah, I guess again feeding the fungi, and I guess I remember and that was you know, I think it's around that size or something like that in regards of that. And I was really eating bad foods, you know, at that point. It's just totally stupid. But anyway, like over here, right? So it went around here, and then it took a U-turn and went straight down into my breast. And it was like on this, you know, on both sides. So this thing that exploded, that was down here, exploded in two directions. It's a little hard to see. So exploded in two directions, this direction and that direction. And then, you know, it went up here, and then it took a U-turn and fixed down in my breast in both sides. And I could just feel, it's like hitting, in my breast. And, I had this visualization of like these square things, flying. I don't know what was going on with that. But anyway, I just felt it like, get up in my lymph nodes. I'm not in, I guess that must, I don't know if anything else that actually can make, but anyway, so I had these, hard things in my breast, and one on my side on my breast, and not in the other side of my breast. And then, of course, the next day I had them on the other side as well. So, I had a lot of weird things, like lightning going through my breast and all that. I thought my heart was, so I got, I got a thing in regards of having my heart checked and all that, because like it was like, pretty much really weird, And yeah, well, that and after it pretty much went up here, I began to get a lot of brown spots here, and then I felt it go through, out in my arms, and then then I began to get brown spots as well there. And after the explosion, it just became much worse. That's just incredible. But of course, I was feeding it. I was feeding the fungi, and I think it just released a huge amount of spores and mycotoxins, which is fungi poison. To as I'm thinking that the spots might be from fungi damage in regards of the poison that the releases. They can release a huge amount of different kinds of poisons. I think it's like I've seen different sources, but like 75 different mycotoxins, which is fungi poison. Now, what would be the idea of releasing mycotoxins while it releases spores? Well, of course, the fungi wants the babies to survive, right? Of course. So how does it make a defense for its babies? Well, toxins. Toxins that can, make a lot of havoc and, make the immune system having difficulties and so forward, so that the fungi babies can survive. That's my idea of it. Anyway, it makes sense. When you are inhaling mycotoxins, because if you have mold and all that, you're inhaling spores and mycotoxin, and the mycotoxin might actually make it more able to make the babies grow. So again, suppress the immune system and make the fungi grow in you and go viral. And I saw this thing where you had two different fungi and they used the toxins against each other, in regards to win, the food in some sense, to have access to the food. They were using these mycotoxins, that's incredible. It's really cruel enemy. It's really, really a cruel enemy. And seeing. I really hope that it works. I hope it works. I hope it kills it. I hope it just totally annihilated. And that's my hope. I don't know what else there is to pretty much do if this doesn't work. I don't know what else. I can, of course, going back to eating only meat, but still after the explosion, I'm like, it's just there's other people that have it a lot worse and all that, but it's just nipping at you all the time. It's just incredible. I should really have kept on eating meat and not done stupid. But again, over time, and then you fall into it's incredible. Yeah. So bad, 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 really, really bad. So of course, if it has been growing in me for over 19 years, of course it would be, yeah. It has had its time to actually work, And in regards of being a vegetarian, I was pretty much just feeding it sugar, 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 and more sugar. Because a lot of the fruits, you're eating fruit, juicing or whatever. You're just feeding it just sugar. It's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. You're just feeding the fungi. Again, I remember when I was juicing and all that, and I could see the floaters growing. Now, why would the floaters be growing when I was drinking, when I was juice fasting? Well, I was just giving it sugar, sugar, sugar. So, why would it be, why would I see it growing in my eyes? Well, maybe because I was feeding it. Anyway, I should probably stop. I'm getting, I'm tired. I should. Again, sitting here and talking about it won't change if it works or doesn't work. But I really, 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 really hope it works. Um, I hope it works. I really hope it works. You know, even if it doesn't take it all, but just take 90% or something like that, or 19, or yeah, 19%, no, that's 90. Is it called 19? 90, we have 19, 20, okay, that's 19. Okay, so 90. So I just take 90 of it, so that's only 10%. At least I will know that it's fungi. Of course, I've pretty much established that it's fungi, but it's just, what could it else be? There's absolutely nothing else that it could be. I can't see anything that would, and it's just, oh, it's just so sad that this issue is not more on. We know that women are getting fungi issues again and again and again and again because it's so obvious because they can see in regards to the vagina and all that, and so that is a pretty acceptable thing. But what we don't accept is that fungi can be living in the body, and would be a lot of things that I would do differently if I had known. I wouldn't have been smoking. I wouldn't have been drinking, and my family should have bought a goat or a sheep or something like that to have some milk, some natural milk, and not this bullshit that we can buy out in the stores. And make butter and make butter. I'm not sure which kind of butter would actually be best in regards. I know cow butter is wonderful. I think cow butter is really, really good. I don't know if there's exists anything else that is better than that. I have. Good. There is I tried goat butter. I haven't tried sheep butter. Would be interesting to try sheep butter at some point. Goat butter wasn't bad, but it has sugar in it. That's the problem. Of course, probably not a problem for most people, but again, the fungi, well, just very, very sad. Alcohol, absolutely no go, and of course we're destroying the alcohol as well in regards of, as I understand it, in regards of how we make it as well. So, we might actually be, we could actually, as I understand it, make a lot better product that wouldn't actually, end up, at least less of a chance making issues. But it's still alcohol, of course. But they put a lot of different herbs in the, as I understand, kombucha is absolutely a no-go. Absolutely no-go. I've tried that. That's the worst fermenting thing that I've ever tried of the different things I've tried. Kombucha is absolutely no-go. If you have candida and you do kombucha, you have the alcohol, you have a pretty good amount of alcohol in the kombucha, and you have sugar, whatever sugar hasn't turned into, so whatever the fungi haven't eaten up and all that. And I don't know, it didn't really, I felt drunk drinking it, that's a bad thing. Water kefir, bad. I've pretty much felt somewhat drunk on that as well. You could get a buzz on that. And you have the sugar and you have the alcohol. Absolutely no go. Absolutely no go. If you have fungus or the candida fungus, at least my experiences, absolutely no go. So the better fermentations I've tried is milk kefir. Milk kefir, you actually, sadly I don't have the kefir grains anymore. But that was actually one of the better things that I tried. Maybe even better than the yogurt that I'm making at the moment on different, making it from milk. The milk kefir was, and of course the milk kefir pretty much, So it must be taking a lot of the sugar, I would think. Where the yogurt, when I've been making the yogurt, you don't see the same degree of where you have this division of yeah. So I guess the kefir might actually be eating a lot more of the sugar than the, I've been having these yogurt standing for, and I had like 3 liters, and it began to make a little of this in the bottom. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, and that's pretty much all. Where I know in regards to the kefir grains, you could pretty much get where it just, it was just eating up a huge amount of things and I would guess in regards to the lactose or something like that, but the kefir actually, seem to be more effective if you let it stand for, yeah, I don't know. It's just as far as my experience goes in regards to that. So anyway, milk kefir was absolutely the best thing I tried of fermented foods. Yep, and even in regards to the fat, apparently it was best to use low-fat milk for the kefir grains and all that, because I had issues in regards of going on a higher fat in regards to the kefir grains. And yeah, that's so that's yeah. So the easiest way was actually low-fat milk in regards of feeding and still easy to, whatever, and not killing them and all that. I tried other fermenting things and all that, but that seems to be. And you also, in regards to drinking kefir, you get this feel-good feeling, you feel good. You feel, and you don't feel drunk, It is said that there's a small amount of alcohol in kefir. I don't remember ever feeling a buzz. I remember feeling a feel good. I think that's probably some kind of bacteria that does that. But I don't remember feeling I was drunk when doing kefir, milk kefir. But so that's a good thing. At least that's a good sign, And of course, the lactose and all that is getting eaten by the kefir grains and all that. So it shouldn't be that much sugar in it either, So again, water kefir and kombucha, absolutely no go. I wouldn't even, just alcohol, sugar, bad, bad, bad. It's like the 2 worst things that you can put into you. Bad, bad, bad. So yeah. So I wouldn't even waste my time on it. But anyway, people, people need to try different things to find, figure things out and all that, right? But I would absolutely not see it as any. You need to get some the fungi thing. I can't remember what it's called and all that. And of course, if you want going to try water kefir, you would need to get some water kefir. And yeah, it's just not. It's not. If I remember correctly, you could actually use the milk kefir to actually, if you wanted I don't know in regards of coconut, because the problem is, of course, if you get to the point where you have too many grains anyway, you can use those grains that you have too much and actually put them in something, and even if it's I don't know. The problem is if things are too fat, so it's hard to get the the grains, it's just, I don't know. I'm getting tired. But again, kombucha can have, I think it's like up, 3% alcohol or something like that. It's like nearly a beer, a standard beer. It's just way, way, way too much, and sugar as well, and no go. So that's the two things. Just keep, personally, I would just keep away from those. So. Yeah, and the milk kefir was pretty good, but again, that was the best thing I tried. Again, you got a feel good feeling. You felt good, And you get a lot of probiotics. That's the idea of it. You get a good amount of that into you. Yeah, pretty much it, I guess. I tried natto as well. I don't remember if that was any big reaction to that. And then I've tried, of course, you have the sauerkraut as well. I don't remember if there was any reaction to that. I don't remember there was a totally, but it's so sour in regards to your teeth, so I was afraid of actually. I did a lot of sour things and all that, and seemed to, I did lemon, for example, and drank a lot of lemon juice and was told, oh, there's no problem, all that. That's bullshit. That was a problem, and I got it. So my teeth began to become very sensitive after I drank a lot of lemon juice, because of this guy, a vegetarian promoter and all that. I was just so stupid that I fell into that trap. That absolutely was not good for my teeth. So anyway, so that was anyway. Again, you try a lot of things, you want to figure out what is, and a lot of the things just doesn't work. So, and it might actually damage you even more. So, yeah. I've looked, there's something in regards of fermented meat and all that. I haven't really tried that. Some say you also get like a high feeling of it and all that. I don't know. Haven't tried it, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I should stop now. I need to go to bed and all that. Anyway, may Jehovah bless you, and may Yeshua be that most precious pearl, and don't let go of him. And may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. And if you want to see the best movie in regards to the Bible and all that, that would be the Gospel of John in its version that is, what's it called? Can't remember. It's called the Gospel of John, 2003, but it's Visual Bible. That's from the Visual Bible. Wonderful version. Actually, I should check if they actually have made, as I understand it, they were making another one of them. I think it was the Gospel of Mark. I wonder if they actually finished with that. There are some new Christian movies, here and there, that might be interesting. So, let's see here. Gospel of Mark. Let's see here. There we go. Gospel of Mark. Let's see if it actually, no. Oh, here we go. Is that the Gospel of Mark, the visual? No, that seems to be... maybe I should write Visual Bible. Visual Bible. If I remember correctly, they had like a... Yeah, maybe it's already out there. Well, it's some time since I actually saw the trailer of it, so...
John the Baptist appeared in the wilderness, preaching a baptism of repentance for the forgiveness of sins. The whole Judean countryside and all the people of Jerusalem.
I don't know if that is the one, anyway. But anyway, if you want to have the best movie I've seen in regards to the Bible, that's the Gospel of John from the Visual Bible. It's pretty. You can always find issues here and there, but I think that's the best that is out there, So anyway, not taking too much freedom and keeping to the text and the Gospel of Mark and all. Oh, sorry, this Gospel of John and all that. But as I remember, they were actually making another version. They made the Gospel of Matthew, the Book of Acts, and the Gospel of John, and they were making one more. I think it was the Gospel of Mark. Might be wrong, but I think it was. Anyway, have a good one, and take care. It's a cruel world that we live in.